Today we are going to be diving into just one of the quote-unquote generals. You know, the returning villains that are presumably going to be working for the Overlord. Yeah, I'm talking about those guys. And although this particular general is being kind of underlooked, I think that this character has possibly the most potential out of any of them, to be quite honest, which is exactly what I'm going to be getting into today. Now, really quickly, as always, before we get into today's video, if you haven't already and do appreciate the channel and the content I put out, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. It would help me out so much, and it would go a long way. So yeah, at the very least, please do consider it. With this being said, let's get started. Now then, what villain am I talking about? Well, I'm actually going to be talking about the general known as Mr. E, one of the main generals from the Sons of Garmadon, and is now returning as a quote-unquote general under the Overlord's command. Now, in case you guys didn't know, I believe this is quite common knowledge, but you still may not quite know about this. But basically, originally, Mr. E was meant to be Echo Zane, and during the scene in which Zane and Mr. E crashed in the desert, Mr. E's helmet was meant to come off, and it was meant to be revealed that, wow, that is Echo Zane, but they scrapped it due to a lot of different complications, and just because of the fact that it wouldn't really fit into Season 8, and it would be too confusing and all of that, so they scrapped it, and Mr. E ended up being basically a nobody, and we never really got to know his identity in the canon storyline. All we knew is that he was originally going to be Echo Zane. Well, now that they're bringing him back, I think it would be really cool for them to explore this storyline, because, I mean, it's right open, they could definitely explore this, so there's no real reason for them not to. I mean, they could bring him back, it would fit more into the story, and we could get an absolutely incredible, amazing Zane storyline. Because, if you think about it, this is basically Zane's brother, right? So can you just imagine what Zane would be going through if he found out that Mr. E, a bad guy that has tried to kill him on a few occasions in the past, is actually his long-lost brother of sorts, and is actually Echo Zane. I think it would be incredible and would actually fit into this season quite well. It just depends on if they can actually explain it well, because of course this all happened in Season 6 and the ninja aren't meant to remember Season 6, so that's where it gets kind of complicated, and that's where they'd have to do some improvising to get around that. But as long as they could, I could see this being a genuine possibility for the next season, and I think it would be super cool to actually see. As I keep saying, Zane's reaction as well would be incredible and would set up an incredible arc. So, I mean, does this small detail on the poster of Mr. E being there kind of hint towards this maybe happening? I'm going to say yeah, and it's definitely a possibility and a direction they could be taking with Mr. E. But honestly, it all just comes down to luck at this point. As while it is possible, on the other hand, it might not actually end up happening. We'll just really have to wait and see on that. But with all of this being said, that does basically sum up my thoughts and opinions on this particular subject. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's look at one of the generals and what I'd like to see them do with Mr. E in the future for this season. And yeah, that's basically all I've got to say here. With all of this being said, if you did enjoy today's video, feel free to smash a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here and do appreciate the content I put out, and also turn on the notification bell to step down all of my latest content. And with all of this being said, guys, I will see you all in my next video coming out very soon. Goodbye.